My nature reserve lime tree has many caterpillars now. Lots and lots of caterpillars. And I still haven't had a good view to take those beanie birds. See lots of caterpillars there. See millions of, well, millions. Lots and lots of caterpillars. I'm going back to my nature reserve lime tree. I've just noticed one of the caterpillars that was eating and walking around last night is now just gone into the chrysalis state. You see, it still has its original colors. See, it still has its original colors there. You can see them there. The original colors. And on the other side view, I'll go on the other side. Go to this side, you can see the angle. Into the angle. It is in the chrysalis state there. And he'll gradually start changing colors and lose his natural colors. Okay. I've bought some finer mesh. It's 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch square. And this one is, the one I've got now is 1/4 by 1/4 square. So I'll be replacing this mesh today and hope to capture the actual butterfly when it comes out of the chrysalis state. Because the one I was observing the other day has flew the coop. And I think that's when they come out of the cocoon, this mesh is just too coarse. So I'll be replacing it with 1/8 by 1/8 to see what we can find. There are lots and lots of caterpillars now on the lime tree. And they've eaten so much. It's amazing how quick they grow. They've eaten so much. And they've goes large very quickly. Another one here. Getting very big quickly. You can see on these limbs there are no leaves. All those leaves have been eaten all the way through. All this corner, you can see it's just sticking up where there used to be leaves and stuff. So they've eaten a lot. Lots of caterpillars on this one. So later on I'll change the mesh and see if I can capture a little butterfly. Here's another one that's just gone into chrysalis state also. I can see that. I'm back at the nature reserve lime tree, and I want to observe the caterpillar that's just went into chrysalis state. This is a day after, and you can see the difference. The coloring has changed from what it was before. Coloring has changed. This is 1 day into the chrysalis states. See if I can zoom in. Yeah, that's 1 day into the chrysalis states. And there's another one that's just gone into the chrysalis state. That's this morning. Yesterday, last night he was crawling about and lying around. Now he's in the chrysalis state here. Just gone in. Okay. There's another one here just lying around. Maybe by this evening or tomorrow morning it'll be in that state as well. They've been eating a lot and they grow very fast. I still haven't changed my meshes yet. I'm down bottom working on that platform for the last irrigation tank, so that will be finished today. So hopefully when I come back, if I'm not too shattered, I'll change the mesh. There's one thing I've noticed. I noticed it before but it didn't ring a bell. The chrysalis is being held. Normally it's attached by the tail. The tail keeps it in place, but it's also attached by like a cobweb. There are two cobwebs coming down to the middle. It's attached to the limb from the middle of the chrysalis. From the middle of the chrysalis, it's attached to the limb, two webs, one on either side of the chrysalis, and it's a support. In other words, the tail alone wouldn't keep it in place. The web, it looks like a web type thing that's holding it in place, and it's two. I noticed before when they just go into the chrysalis state, the day after, there are two webs in the middle and there's two at the top, like the head section. But those two at the head sections are not there anymore. So all we have now is the two in the middle. So apart from the tail being attached to the limb, the middle section is being supported by two cobwebs. And the cobweb is attached to the limb. So it's like you would say, it's like when you're climbing and you've got a support around your waist and on the tree. For instance, you're climbing a tree like those people climb the pole. They've got a support around their waist, and it also goes around the pole. It is something similar to that, but the only thing is this is not going around the pole. It's attached to the face of the pole that the body is against. I'm not able to see that. I don't think I'm able to see that on the video. That's thought. Let me see if I see one that is still attached from the head. Yeah, there's one here. Now this is just attached from the waist as well, or thereabouts. Need to zoom out and come back in. Okay, I can see now. Okay. I don't think you can see this, it's very fine. Well, that's the chrysalis there. I think this is a third one in line. So after that one, that I've got the cage around. Maybe this one, or there's another one across there. Yeah. It's like after the first day, the support for the head separates and just leave the waist. They all have that. There's another one about there. There are two more. So it's held by the tail. That's the main support, the tail, and then the middle section is being supported by the web. There's one here. There's quite a few now that's in the chrysalis state. And I think you can. No, it's not. It's the. You can see there. That's in state. I don't think you can see from the video. But that's how they're kept in place. Oh, that's interesting. It's just amazing. Genius. Nature. Wow. Something strange has happened. I can't believe what I'm seeing. In my cage, the cage I planned it to change and put a smaller mesh. I've seen one of the life-size butterfly. I'm inspecting for access to see if it's possible that this butterfly could get into the cage. And I'm not seeing how that could be done. I've gone around the cage and inspected, and I can't see any way that butterfly could get into the cage. The way it's made, there just isn't any way, and I can't believe that that size butterfly can come out of a chrysalis. That's not possible. This isn't possible. I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. That can't be that size. The chrysalis looks empty. The cocoon looks empty. But it's not possible to get that size butterfly. It can't come out as a whole. It must come out as a young butterfly. But there's just no way to get into the cage for the butterfly that size. This is Must be seeing things. The cocoon is empty, but that size butterfly cannot come out of the cage, come out of that size. Look at that size. There's no way. And there's no way for the butterfly to get into the cage. There just is no way to get in there. That's too big to come out of the cocoon. I'm just trying to see. I need to get something to put in there to see if the cocoon is really empty. I must get this. Let's try this and see. That means when I put my cage around that previous one, it must have been empty. I must have put my cage around an empty carcass, empty. Let me just check to see if that. I'm pushing a piece of wire in to see. Yes, the cocoon is empty. See, it's empty now. But how can that big butterfly come out of this small cage? Small thing. See, it's empty. So the butterfly comes out as a whole. I would not believe this. I've never seen such a large butterfly come out of a small thing. This is not happening. I need to do this again. I need to put this around another one. So it means it takes a couple of weeks, so thereabouts. It takes about 2 weeks for them to form. Wow, I was expecting a bit longer than that. As you can see, there's a large butterfly. How can that large butterfly come out of that small container? Well, I must do some research into this. And there's no way for the butterfly to get into the container, my cage. And the chrysalis is empty. It was not empty before. I put it on a few days after it. I put it in a few days after it formed into the chrysalis state. And now it's empty. And there's a large butterfly in the cage. This isn't, I've never seen, this isn't possible. Wow. How can that be? There's no access to the cage. There's just no way to get into the cage. No way. There's no way for the butterfly to get into the cage. And I was thinking the mesh was too small. Okay. You can see this on the tape. You can see it on the recording. A large butterfly in the cage. There's no access to get into the cage for that large sized butterfly. The chrysalis, the cocoon is empty. The cocoon is empty. A large butterfly is in the cage. There's no way for the butterfly to get into the cage from outside. And I can't believe that large sized butterfly comes out of that small thing. It's not, you can see how small this is. There's one here. You can see how small it is. So how can a large butterfly come out of it? Wow, this isn't really happening. It seems like a joke. Someone's playing a joke on me. But there's no one around to do that because no one knew I was doing all this kind of stuff. I really need Yuan to see this. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to call Yuan because he must see this. Because he won't believe this either. Okay, I'll pause.